everyone. TD fam, we backing up in, man. As you can see, we backing to Joe Knows. 2K26 is on the corner, man. As you know, 2K20 is the best 2K all fucking time. If you don't agree, nigga, use gay. Real shit. But you know I'm with your boy. Nigga.
2K20 is not the best 2K, bro.
Nigga, 20 is the best 2K.
For all the new gens that really never play old.
Bro, you're pushing 18, bro. You're pushing 18, bro. You're pushing 18. You're pushing 18.
20 is not the best 2K.
You're pushing 18. You're pushing 18. You're pushing 18.
You're pushing it right.
No, the fuck I'm not, nigga. I'm only fucking 9 years old, bro. I'm 9, nigga. I'm 9.
When I turn 18, bro, don't fuck with me. The conversation's dead.
Nah, bro. When you turn 18, you turn 18. You turn 18, you turn 18.
Yeah.
I turn 18 in the next 40 years. Shut your bitch ass up, bro. No further ado, man. Let's get into the Joe Knows video. Nigga, I do not turn 18 right with you, bro. You's the oldest shit. You're no. You no, I don't, nigga. Shut the fuck up, bro. You turn 18 in a couple months. I turn 18 in January. No, I turn 18 in January. You turn 18 in December. You turn 18 in December. You turn 18 in December, bro. You turn 18 in December. You turn 18 in December. I turn 18 in January. You're pushing 18. You're older than me. But no further ado, nigga. Just because you're old as hell don't mean I'm old as hell. But no further ado, let's get to the video.
To their fullest can be time consuming and challenging. So I'm here to give you creating builds is expensive. And optimizing builds to their fullest can be time consuming and challenging. So I'm here to give you 10 mistakes to avoid when creating your build on 2K26. Drop a like on the video for me, and let's get right into it.
Looking like
the first
16.
one regards the new Badge Max +1 and +2 system. So understanding this is very important, and I'm going to explain a few reasons why. You're going to get a Badge Max +1 in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 slot.
25.
You're also going to get a Badge Max +2 in the Tier 1, Tier 2 slot. And then you're going to get an extra Badge Max +1 and Badge Max +2 through the build specialization. Utilizing these Badge Maxes is going to be very important in terms of maximizing your build's potential. And there's some mistakes you could make. For example, if you're a build with a 99 rebound and you pick the rebounding build specialization, those extra +1 and +2 Badge Max slots can only be applied to rebounding. But since you already have a 99 rebound, your rebounding badges are on Legend. You're not going to be able to put those Badge Max +1 and 2s on anything. So it's very important you pick a build specialization that's going to allow you to not only
Chris need to be watching this because he's going to be a 7'4", no shooting, no dribbling, boards. Chris.
Cap breakers, but those specialized Badge Max +1 and 2 slots. It's also very important that you pay attention to badge tiers. Depending on the height of your build, certain badges are going to fluctuate between Tier 1 and Tier 2. This could be the difference between using your Badge Max perks on very valuable badges all across the board, or having to waste it on a less valuable badge because you weren't paying attention to which badges were in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 slots. Pay attention to your badge layout and all these new Badge Max slots to make sure you're able to utilize them on more valuable badges. Next up, with pure green windows returning to 2K26, it's going to be more important than ever to find the biggest green window jump shot bases for your specific build. And NBA 2K Labs has you covered. They have a bunch of free tools on their website, but what you're really looking for is under the premium section, the custom jump shot data. This is an absolute cheat code every year on 2K. This data contains statistically tested jump shots for your specific build, giving you the biggest green windows and the fastest releases, giving you an edge over the competition. I personally use this database for all my builds. If you're interested in access to this, use code Joe at checkout for a big discount. I cannot recommend NBA 2K11. Making sure you have the attribute requirements necessary to unlock the animations you want should be very high on your priority list. Missing an animation threshold by a few attribute points is one of the most frustrating things you could do with a new build. So make sure you pay great attention to what attribute requirements are needed for the animations that you want to unlock. The newly added animation glossary is something you could utilize to try to make sure that you're not missing any attribute requirements needed for the animations that you want. But if you're going to make the most optimized build possible for yourself, you're going to want to have the most optimized animations available for your MyPlayer. Next up are cat breakers. And I know some people are saying, I already know about cat breakers. I use them in 2K25. They are slightly different this year. So let's break this down quickly.
Is that a plus 11? You get 11 plus attributes instead of 1? Tell you what we thinking, bro. How we feeling, bro? Look at that. Ooh. Probably get a 99 jabbing dunk off of that right there. Let's let Joe explain it.
So that you don't make a mistake when it comes to your cat breakers. First reminder I want to give you, your player has to have the ability to unlock the attribute that you're going to apply the cat breakers to. For example, if your build caps out at a 96 3-pointer, you cannot apply cat breakers to then push it to a 99. So when you're selecting your height, weight, and wingspan, make sure you have the capability to unlock the attributes that you want to apply your cat breakers to. For example, you could have a 94 3-pointer with the potential to get to 99, add 5 cat breakers, and now you have that 99-3 that you were looking for. Now, a new feature with cat breakers is you can now apply them to lower rated attributes and get bigger returns on one cat breaker, sometimes reaching a double-digit attribute boost. Or you can apply it to a highly rated attribute for your +1 per cat breaker boost. When creating your builds, you're going to want to plan ahead about what you intend to do with your cat breakers, unless you just plan on creating a whole new build once you unlock the cat breakers. But like we said, builds are expensive. Sometimes you want to plan in advance that, hey, by the time I unlock my cat breakers, I already know where I'm going to use them. And lastly, when it comes to cat breakers, remember, you're going to have to unlock these cat breakers. You are not starting with cat breakers on your build. Even the build specialization cat breakers that have to be applied to a specific attribute category, you're going to have to unlock them through the build specialization quests. High risk versus low risk builds. I've talked about this on my channel for years. If you're someone that's planning on making a couple builds at the start of the year, let's say you plan on making a guard and a center build, make the lower risk build first, which is the center. It's a much harder task to mess up a center build than it is a guard build. You can make your center build, start playing the game and see how it is. Let everybody else make mistakes with their guard builds, take in that information and then tweak it to make the guard build you want to make. Guard builds are easier to mess up because there's more that goes into them. You have to make sure you're getting specific dribble moves, specific layup packages, jump shot bases, dunk packages. There's a lot more that goes into it as opposed to a center. You're really just making sure you got the attributes and the badges that you want. Sure, there's some dunk packages and jump shot bases you want to get, but they're at much lower attribute thresholds and you're pretty much going to have access to all of them as a big man. So make the low risk build first. Let everybody else make mistakes with the higher risk builds, take in that information, make the tweaks that you need, and then make your higher risk build a few days later. Next is make sure you actually understand what each attribute contributes to when it comes to gameplay. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and it's clear they don't actually understand what each attribute means. For example, putting up your mid-range also is your post-fade rating. Putting up your agility will not affect how quick you are with the ball in your hands. Agility is only for off-ball movement and defense. Putting up your close shot will also raise your post-hook rating. Make sure you understand what the attributes actually mean so that when you're putting up attributes for your build, you're actually creating the build you want to play on and optimizing it to its fullest potential. We've touched on this one a little bit when it came to the cat breakers, but pay attention to your physicals. Height, weight, and wingspan affect the attribute limits of your build. Make sure the physicals you select allow you to get the attributes and badges that you want to unlock to optimize your build. Also this year, pay attention. The maximum wingspan now is 6 inches above whatever height you choose. Also pay attention that some of the attribute caps have changed based on height and wingspan. Taller players and players with longer wingspans now have access to higher 3-point ratings. That's just one example. Make sure you're paying attention to your physicals and what it allows you to unlock on your build. Create a build to fit the game modes that you like to play. If you like to play on the 1v1 court, you're not going to need pass accuracy on your build. But if you're somebody who likes to play 5v5 rec or pro-am, pass ac might be more of a necessity. Same thing that goes with free throw. If you're only a park player, you're not gonna need free throw on your build. But if you're somebody that likes to dabble in the rec or 5v5 Pro-Am, you might wanna raise that free throw rating. Create a build specific to the game modes that you want to play that will allow you to optimize it to its fullest potential. Also create a build that fits the teammates you like to play with. And I know some of you are saying, Joe, I play random rec or random theater. I don't know who I'm going to be playing with. You still know the types of people that enter those courts a lot of the times. If you're a center that likes to play 5v5 comp pro-am, maybe making an inside center might be a viable option because you're playing with a bunch of guys that want to 3-hunt and dance around screens, and you being able to just crash the boards and get all the dunks in the paint is of value. But if you're a random rec player, you know a lot of people in there are trying to cut back door and slash to the basket and dunk and layup and do all that stuff. You're going to want to be able to shoot on your center so that you can bring the other team's center away from the hoop, or if they leave you open, you're going to be able to knock it down. Create a build to not only fit the game modes you want to play, but to fit with the teammates or the randoms that you're going to be hooping with. Pay attention to takeover when creating your build. There is custom takeover this year, which allows you to select whatever 3 attributes you want to boost. If you decide to select 2 or 1 attributes, you'll receive an even bigger boost to those attributes. But pay attention to the takeover abilities, what they do, and more importantly, what attribute thresholds you need to reach to unlock those abilities. Let's say you're planning on making a custom takeover to not only boost your shooting attributes, but you want one of the shooting takeover abilities like Deep Bomber. If you don't meet the attribute requirements to unlock the Deep Bomber ability, you're not going to be able to use that in your custom takeover. Make sure you're paying attention to the takeover thresholds and meet the attribute requirements to unlock them. And probably the most important tip I can give you when it comes to making a build: create a build that you want to play on. You specifically. I don't care what YouTuber or TikTok, or if your mom told you to make a certain build, make a build that you want to play on. I can't tell you how many times I made a build and somebody told me that build's trash because this, that, and the third, and then I'm out there dropping 50 points per game on it. Make a build that fits the way you want to play, fits your play style, and you'll find a way to be successful on it. Sure, listen to build videos and take information from them, but at the end of the day, you got to create a build that you actually want to play on and a build that fits how you want to play. I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all want more help when it comes to NBA 2K26, click that video on the screen right there. I guarantee
We hooking y'all up because we watching this one too.
Hey, David.
It's still fuck Mike Wayne.
It's a blue outline. Is it just the monitor? It's probably just the peaking.
It's his aura.
Okay.
Look at Mike Wayne with the fabs on.
Let's get right into it. One of the biggest talking points from last year's game, the RNG in shooting. What can you tell us about shooting this year, and can you compare it?
I got a theory. I think RNG was made for Zenners, to stop Zenners, but now in 26, they're about to be fucking cracked.
To a past 2K.
Okay, so we talked about this online a little bit. There's no RNG in shooting. I'm going to say that with an exception. There's RNG still in like those quick heaves that you get at the ends of buzzers, buzzer beaters, and like half court, full court heaves. Okay, so that's still, I don't want to get labeled a liar.
Fair enough.
That's still going to use a dice roll. But everything else is straight green windows, pure green windows. They scale based on attributes and coverage and all the badges and everything. But those windows, once they're set by those things, if you can time your shot in those windows, you will hit the shot.
So theoretically, you can time your shot in those windows. You can shoot 100%.
You can shoot 100%. Yeah. So compared to past 2Ks, that one's hard to answer because we really have never done this before. The closest was probably 24. 24, we had a pure green window, a little bit larger one, but that one even had RNG on the edges. So what happened there is like, it was a really, really tight window that most people probably couldn't hit consistently. And then that would bleed out to like, 0% chance on the edges. So we still used a dice roll to keep the numbers like, so people wouldn't go like, over 10. They would at least hit some shots if they were kind of sloppy on their timing.
Right.
So that was the idea there.
So you'd say it's like a more skilled base 2K24 shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are crazy good at shot timing, and you take good shots, you're gonna destroy people.
You're gonna separate yourselves from other players.
Absolutely. And to offset that, I'll throw that out there too, is that one of the reasons why we felt we could go this way is because defense is stronger. So contests, they're powerful. If you can get a hand up, and I watch you guys play a lot. I know you guys are really good at doing this. So you know when to jump, you know when to stay down, you know when to be in hands up. people who master that, they're going to be able to ding these shooters hard enough where it's going to be such a hard window to hit that consistently, at least, that you're going to keep the percentages down. So I'm not too worried because at least all the play tests we've been having, we're getting good numbers.
So we'll segue into shot contests then. It seems like it can be challenging to find a balance, right? You have attributes, badges, player heights, player wingspans, hand placements on the contest. How do you try to balance it to make it to a point where you're not getting contests when you shouldn't, and then you are, it's not too strong, too weak? How do you find the balance between all those factors?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's just a lot of iteration, and it's seeing what feels right. And the hardest thing about contests, I'm going to say, is usually what happens is in the 2K cam view when you're playing live with no replays, sometimes things don't look as contested as they are, or vice versa. Yep. Like sometimes it's like, oh, there's a crowd of dudes on the guy. Why is it like a 2% contest? And usually it's because two guys are flat-footed, one guy's behind the shooter, and it looks really crazy, but it's actually pretty open. And so it's really hard to dissect, every little clip.
If you were to freeze frame it at the point of the release, it's actually...
You can kind of see why the game is saying this is not a heavily contested shot. Even though to your eyes, in real time, in the heat of battle, it might look contested. But yeah, it's really just a lot of balancing and trying to make it so that, everything is a factor. We want people to invest in good perimeter defense or interior defense on the inside. We want to make sure that, height is effective, wingspan's important. All those things got to be important.
Right.
And not, overpower each other.
Staying on the topic of shooting, rhythm shooting was added to 2K25. You've already talked about how rhythm shooting is different this year, and we kind of need to recalibrate our brains in terms of how to think about it. You've also talked about how you want button and rhythm shooting to both be viable options. What are some factors you would say people should consider when they decide if they want to shoot with the button or with the stick?
It's going to be labbing, I think. It's going to be finding a shot that works for you and finding out what you're good at. Because it's, I guess my analogy, maybe it's not a good one, but it might be like if shooting with the button is like shooting a free throw, and shooting with the stick is like shooting a deep three-pointer with maybe a slightly larger basket. It's like one might be easier for somebody and one might be harder for somebody, but it really depends on the person. Like some people are just going to get it. Some people are going to be in rhythm shooting and be like, I understand that tempo is what really matters. I got to get a certain speed in my stick throw to master shooting. And some people are like, I don't get it. I just can't hit a shot. I just see the window. I want to use the button. And that's fine. And then some people are going to be in the middle, like Wolf's one of our best players internally, and he's like, he has this crazy formula. He's like, I'll use button for this case, I'll use stick for this case, I'll use stick for this case, button for this case.
So certain
he's all over the
shots,
place. Yeah, certain shots it might be easier for you. And for me, I do rhythm shoot. I rhythm shoot everything, and that's just how I play. But yeah, some people are mixing it up, some people are just pure button. And that's kind of one of the metrics for me, actually, is internally, what are people doing? What are they gravitating towards to be successful? And I've found that it's really a good mix. So I think we're in a decent spot. And I don't know why I want this, but I think rhythm shooting is cool. And if it was, up to me, everyone would at least try it. But like we said earlier, it's like I didn't want it to be like last year, there was definitely an advantage.
Right.
And there might be an advantage this year if you find it easier because you just happen to understand the mechanic better. But really, you can't go wrong with either.
So if someone's not like you, if they don't like rhythm shooting, it's like you shoot with the button, you're on the level playing field. It's just it's just preference.
And some people are going to be destroying people on the button, and if you force them to rhythm shoot, they'd probably go 0 for 10. Yeah. So it's really, the goal is to make it both viable. Whether they're equal, I don't know if there's even a way to put a metric behind that.
That boy C.
I don't know how to gauge something that's that different.
You gotta master it.
Right? It's just different.
With the addition of the Badge Max +2 perk, you're going to be able to boost badges multiple levels now. Can you speak to how effective it's going to be? Let's say, your 78 three-pointer is typically silver set shot. Mm-hmm. How effective is it going to be to boost it to 78 three-pointer with half set shot versus actually getting the requirement of three-pointer to unlock the badge level? How can we kind of in our brains define how much better it's going to be?
That's a very difficult question.
All right.
It's very nuanced, and the thing about badges is that they're situational, right? So a rating is going to be more global and it's going to affect you everywhere, but the badges might be certain situations or certain contexts. So you have to consider that, what kinds of shots are you taking? So yeah, generally speaking, I would just say find the shots that you like to take or that you tend to take, find out the badge that's going to work best for, and then go all in on that badge. That's better than getting like bronze everything. Bronze everything is going to be like, it's not going to do a lot for you, to be honest. You're going to want to go at least silver or gold to see some effects from that badge. Otherwise, just go in on your attributes, and that's going to be more beneficial to you.
All right, let's switch gears. Finishing. We've seen 2Ks where finishing has been insane, dunks, layups, floaters, all types of things. We've also seen years where it's been a bit hit or miss and a little inconsistent. It seems like this year was an area of focus, with custom layups and bringing back the visible green window on dunks and layups. Just talk about the challenges in terms of finding a balance, because again, there's so many factors: attributes, badges, player momentum, player size, height, all those things. How do you find that balance so that it's not overpowered, but it's also not inconsistent?
Yeah, that's another difficult one. Just
2K18 pushing.
One of the goals for our team this year was, and this sounds weird, but we wanted every play style to be OP. So, you may.
Oh, this game's about to be ass just because he said that.
It sucks when there's one dominant play style or two
Nah,
dominant
bro.
play
When a
styles.
nigga
We want
lose
it to
the
be
buzz,
like,
raps.
create a slasher and even a layup slasher, like really specific thing. You want to be a
Who
guy
the fuck is being a
finishes like
layup
Kyrie,
slasher?
that you can do that and you can be effective and you can like kill people with that.
Yeah.
But if you were like, some glass cleaning interior defensive guy, and if you invest everything in that and you get good at that, you can just stop everything in the paint.
Wait, Glaskin and Locks are still in the game?
Just like pick what you want to be.
Yeah, pick what you want to be.
Yeah.
We want there to be a diversity in play styles.
I ain't seen
but to
Glaskin and
answer your
Locks
question
in like
with
21,
slashing,
22.
Yeah, it was a point of emphasis, especially with layups and dunks, to make slashing just more of a game, like more of a weapon.
Right.
Because we knew going in, these thinking green or miss is back. People are gonna be like, okay, I'm making a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna left, right, cheese behind screens and just pull every shot. It's not as easy as it sounds. So don't think you're going back to 2K24. It's different, especially like I mentioned with the contest. So I encourage people to try out a bunch of different styles before they commit to what they're building.
One way to play.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it already downstairs, but like floaters are tough. Like they're really strong, and if you get in your bag and you find the custom layup package that you want for your guy, you're going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, you can be exploding downhill and stop on a dime and just float it over the
And dunks too. You see it. We made dunks easier. It's just hold down on stick now. It's not a big Mortal Kombat throw, as people call it.
Seems like even like
easier.
standing dunks as well, like standing meter dunks. Everything seems a bit more.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little worried about 7-4s, but I think they're okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. When it comes to dribbling in 2K26,
Yeah, it already might be overweight. This nigga Mike even started laughing after that. And he said, we'll see. Oh, this game might be fucked. There's about to be 7-4 post scores. 7-4. You see that, your little Yao Ming thing, Tay? Bro, he's getting that bitch from 3. Yeah, that shit's broken. He threw that bitch all the way in front of him and then shot that motherfucker. Oh my. I don't even think Wemby actually did that shit. Wemby's not doing that. Wemby did not do that, bro. This game might just be fucking cooked. Nah, bro. This game's about to be ass.
what was your vision? What did you see and what did you want to execute? And
That's not happening, bro.
are we going to see big builds being explosive and popping off the dribble?
Fuck no.
LeBron and Durant and all the taller players in real life.
I wouldn't say popping, but they're definitely moving better.
Okay.
The goal for dribbling at a high level was to make it more explosive. Let players branch and chain moves together more readily, more freely. Have moves generally be more explosive, both launching out of them and just chaining between moves. And then just putting a lot of different combos in that haven't been in the game for a while or never have been in the game.
Right.
So that's exciting to me always. Working on the dribbler is just like, what can I kind of Easter egg into this thing? Not tell anybody about. It's not in 2K. Learn 2K. You just
See
gotta
how
go.
long it takes them to find it?
Yeah, gotta wait till Steezo's video comes out, or you gotta like get in the lab and you gotta just cook. So, yeah, discoverability to me.
Yeah, Steezo's finna break this game. This game's done. Steezo,
This nigga might ain't even mention this nigga, bro.
he just did. He did, bro.
Said that.
Yeah, bro. Diesel really might break this fucking game. Day one, bro. He really might just destroy this game. Might be done.
He's like one thing that I'm excited about for dribbling, and I think people are going to find like their dribble style and all the moves that you can set up with your guy, and find the right combo that that you're good at and get in their bag. And
I messed with it a little bit, and it definitely feels more explosive. Even the 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", yeah, definitely compared to last year, much more. I know you said not poppy, but I would describe it as more burst.
Yeah. Shout out to Shea, our cover guy, because a lot of his animations are pretty tough. So he's a good dribble style to try out too, I'd say, for the bigger guards.
So judging by the things you've tweeted and answered questions on, it seems like you're kind of leaning towards a more skill-based defensive system in the game. Like you said, pluck steals have been nerfed, but blitz steals will be rewarded. It seems like if you outplay your opponent, that's what you're looking to reward defensively. Was that the idea going into kind of revamping how defense is played?
Especially with steals. Steals have been, for a long time, haven't had much of a game to them.
Right.
It was kind of a ratings-based dice roll. So that's what I meant when I said the pluck steals are gone.
Yeah.
The ones that are just calculated by, like, here's your rating, here's my rating, I hit the button, let's just play an animation out, that's all gone. So actually, you guys inspired me a lot. Watching Black Market play and watching, like, Bauer play defense, I call him out. I guess it's all you guys, but especially Bauer, and, like, how good he is at anticipating and cutting the dribbler off. I wanted that to be the game. Like, if you can read where the ball handler is going and then hit steal at the right time. We spend a lot of time on that too, just the ball targeting on steals and playing the right animations. They're quicker generally, the animations themselves. So, and not locking you into them as much. But yeah, that whole, the IQ part was important to me. Yeah.
Actually having some stick skill to be rewarded for a steal instead of just, like you said, pressing a button and the game gives it to you. Yeah,
and that was, like I said, the top of the thing. Is like that was across the board, right? So, but especially with defense, steals, blocks are the same way. We didn't want to just be like, okay, your rating's good, you block everything. Right. It's got to be, you got to time it, you got to read. You gotta know when to jump, when to stay down, those kinds of things.
I saw some people follow up that they were concerned, like, oh, so what's the point of even going high steal? From my experience playing 2K, the higher your steal, the better reach animations you get. Not just plucks, just better, quicker reaches. You recover faster instead of getting into a long, kind of stumbly reach animation. I'm assuming that's consistent this year.
Yeah, and you even have like, we actually have different collision radius with the hands based on your steal rating. So there'll be times where, like, if you're the ball and I have a lower steal rating, if I get like right on the edge of it and I'll miss it, but that extra couple of like sometimes inches or less than inches can make a difference between a steal and not a steal. So that stuff's all impacted by your steal rating. So there's reason to invest in steal, especially if you want to be a lock or a two-way. You're going to need it.
You touched on it a little already in terms of the build and play style diversity you're looking to create. Is there anything else gameplay-wise that you would say you're hopeful creates that diversity in 26?
Besides the builds themselves and the takeover system, I think I mentioned on Twitter, we opened up some of the requirements too for like dribble styles and for dribble moves. That so the rule kind of was, if it was like an 80 rating requirement, and you were like, it was like for swings only or for smalls only, that got moved to both. So that's kind of the rule. So I know people were saying like, okay, well that means that like LeBron can get Kyrie's moves, and that's not how it works.
Right.
Kyrie's still going to be limited to the small guards because it's such a high rating.
Yep.
But yeah, opening some of that up is going to, I think, hopefully create some build diversity, or give people options at least. Like if they're only choosing a small guard because they wanted a certain dribble move style or a certain move itself, maybe they can open that up to a 6'5" or 6'6" now, or 6'7", something like that.
Big shout out to Mike for sitting down with me, but if y'all want to check out this gameplay in action, click that video on the screen right there. That's the NBA 2K26 gameplay breakdown. You don't want to miss it.
And the GOAT popped up. The GOAT YouTuber popped up for the fucking ending finale of the video, man. You know what I'm saying? It's me and your boy Tay. Hope y'all might fuck with 2K26, but 2K26 ain't looking bad, ain't looking bad, but we'll see you on the next one.